Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another double movie review, aka After I Saw. First movie I'm going to be reviewing is 3,000 Years of Longing. Now, in this film, we follow Tilda Swinton as she finds this bottle, and inside of it isn't necessarily a genie, it's a guy with pointy ears named Jin, and he tells the story of how he was supposed to grant this woman three wishes, but she never finished them, causing him to be trapped inside of the bottle, and he is finally out. So Tilda Swinton can finish the job she was supposed to do, but before that, we get like this anthology of like the backstory of okay, he's played by Idris Elba, and we hear like the backstory in like this anthology movie. Well, it's not really a full out anthology as it happens like during like the first hour of the movie. And this movie is directed by George Miller, who is best known for directing the Mad Max movies. And his last movie, Mad Max Fury Road, I consider to be one of the best movies like ever made. Like, I really regret not putting that movie at the top of my best movies of 2015 list because today I definitely would. As it is my favorite film of that year, I just don't know why I didn't. Because when it comes to Star Wars The Force Awakens, nobody really likes that movie anymore, or the other two sequel Star Wars movies, but I'm not getting into that. But while this movie definitely is far from being his best work yet, I can still say after Mad Max Fury Road, this is still a fine enough watch, okay? I mean, I do have problems with it, but I enjoyed myself throughout most of the movie. For one thing, Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba are great in the movie, especially Idris Elba. I really liked his character in the movie. He's basically kind of like a genie. Well, not really because, well, he's not called a genie, but people are comparing this to like an adult version of Aladdin. Well, it definitely doesn't take a whole lot of things from Aladdin other than the three wishes thing and the bottle thing. And instead of being trapped in a lamp, he was trapped in a bottle. What really made this movie work for me is their chemistry together, though I kind of would have liked it more if they were on screen a lot more often. They were great in the movie, and it's a shame they didn't get that much chemistry because something happens like during like the last like 40 minutes of the movie, which I thought were easily the best parts. As when it comes to the anthology story, I didn't really like it as much as the real world story, though it mostly focuses on the anthology story. While I did like Idris Elba's character, and he's mostly the main focus throughout this movie, it's the story is kind of a little bit hard to get into because there are other side plots with other characters from the past that I really could care a whole lot less about. And while it is visually stunning, except for some CGI moments like when we're first introduced to Idris Elba's character, it really does have a lot of stunning visuals and some really unique costume design as well. And everybody is great in the movie, like I mentioned before. It's just, I kind of wish that the story was a little bit more memorable, as it is kind of like, I don't know, not that memorable, but I did find myself enjoying the movie. I mean, like I mentioned, it's visually appealing and performances. I kind of wish it focused on Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton a lot more because Tilda Swinton is supposed to be the protagonist of the movie, though we don't see her on screen that much. It's mostly Idris Elba's narration of these side stories that are all put together into like an anthology. Though I wouldn't really call it an anthology. It's just like we don't really need to hear like the entire thing. I mean, could we just get straight to the point? I mean, I get it, okay? They're trying to show like what happened before the events of what's happening right now, but I don't know. But for me, I might be sounding very negative about this movie, but I did find myself enjoying most of the movie. There are a couple stories to the film that I did enjoy. They just weren't as told as well as I was hoping, but the movie was far different than what I originally anticipated. I didn't really see that much of the trailer, but it did look pretty interesting, and I'm a fan of George Miller, so yeah, it's far from his best work. I didn't really have that much to say about it. All I can say is that it's a good enough film, even if the story isn't as memorable as I was hoping for. Stories to movies are supposed to be very important, and while I didn't think the story was necessarily bad, I just wish it could have been a lot better. Alright, now I'm going to be talking about The Invitation. Now, The Invitation is a new horror film, and it involves a woman who reunites with her cousin that she didn't even know she had, and he invites her to a wedding, and from there she meets this guy who she develops a relationship with, and from there strange things start happening, mostly during the nighttime. People are doing random stuff, and there's like these evil hands, and then they like take them away once in a while, and yeah, you pretty much know where this is going. There are a couple things I did like about this movie. The last act was easily the most entertaining part of the movie, and it has a likable enough main lead. But my biggest problem with the movie is that it's generic and forgettable. That's the best way I can describe this whole movie. It has a twist where you kind of knew where the movie was headed, and the movie just came off as very predictable, and the movie tries way too hard to be scary. It adds in so many horror cliches that we've seen before, trying to like throw them into your face like, hey, is this scary? Are you scared yet? Oh look, jump scares. Oh look, dark visuals. Is this scary? Oh look, creepy hand with nails. Is that creepy? Because really it just came off as kind of like groan worthy at some parts. But really, where this movie, what I really didn't see coming was the whole twist of the characters, as it's a vampire movie. Yep, and I might be spoiling that, but in case of the story isn't fully told well, yeah, it's basically a vampire movie. Like the last act is pretty much a vampire movie, and it's a PG-13 rated one as well, which is kind of shocking. I was hoping this movie was going to get an R rating because of the fact that we actually see a woman's throat get slit and they drink her blood, but no, it's PG-13. And while they do get away with a tad bit of blood here and there, and the last act is pretty entertaining because of how ridiculous it was. Though I wouldn't say it's ridiculous in a good way. It's ridiculous in a I don't know. I kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't. But that's where the entertainment comes out of, and it's during the last act, as the first hour is very slow. It's very dull. Characters, except for the main one, were very bland and didn't have that much going for them. And when it comes to the twist, it is very predictable, and you kind of knew where it was headed. There was a lot of stuff that happens in this movie where you knew exactly where they were headed. So I just felt like the movie was trying too hard to be scary. It tried too hard to fully give you what to expect when you kind of knew where certain parts were headed. It's just a generic PG-13 horror film, vampire film that didn't deliver the scares. It doesn't deliver a good enough story to keep us engaged. It didn't have enough characters for us to care for them. When certain people die, you really didn't care. I didn't care in the slightest. And while this is definitely far from the worst horror movie of the year, it's definitely one of the most bland and generic and forgettable, in my opinion. I have a feeling not many people are going to see these movies. That's why I didn't talk about them a whole lot, but I just felt like doing it because I feel like I should review like almost every single movie I see, unless I really don't want to. But I kind of did want to, so I did. And I'm in a different position right now because I don't really feel like setting up the thing because really, I don't think many people are going to watch this video. So, yeah, because not many people are talking about these movies. But, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.